Alongside me, I have Sean King, who's one of the drivers who's been contesting this championship, sitting out today.
Thank you for having me.
So Sean will be giving us a bit of his insight from a driver's perspective throughout the day. So we look like we're all ready to go. They're all lined up, and we are waiting for the lights to go out for the first race of the day. And they're away, and it looks a good start from Kelly. Curry's got a bit of a poor start, and it looks like Balding there is coming through the middle. And it might even take second place. Oh, we've got a car over in the background. That looks like one of the Positively Racing cars has gone over.
I think that's Farah that's gone over there. He seems to drop right to the back.
Yep, so not a good start for him. But a great start for Kelly, who's already got a bit of a lead, and a fantastic start by Balding, who's gone from 5th to 2nd by the time they get to the complex for the first time. Ben Brown is 3rd, John Curry is 4th, and Luke Bennett 5th as they exit the complex and head out into this real fast part of the circuit now. We've got Wilson in 6th, Sibbald 7th, Cleaver 8th. So this first few laps, the driver's just trying to get settled in. Here's a replay of the start then. What's happened to Farah, we think? Contact with Talbot on the inside.
That's not what you like to see from one of your teammates, is it?
Oh, that is... Well, he just came across on Talbot there, I think. I don't think Colin could do much about that, really.
No, I don't think so. But it's an unfortunate start for both of them.
So, Kelly already building a slight lead, Balding very wide there out of Church. And Ben Brown might have a chance here to maybe make a move into the chicane. And there's Curry going around trying to go on the outside of Ben Brown. I don't think he's going to be able to do that.
It's a rather ambitious move, to be honest, this early in the race.
Yes, I don't think at this stage it's going to be a move that's on. Look at Bennett, though, all over the back of Curry. He's looking at the inside as they head into the first corner. He's not quite alongside. But Luke Bennett, we saw, seems to work his way into races. And certainly as he gets into a rhythm, he can be really fast towards the end.
He's extremely good on used tyres. At the end of the race, he puts in faster and faster laps. He's one of those drivers that you can't really race against on the end of a race. So we'll see how he does at the end of this race.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on his lap times and see how he's going as the tyres wear down. So Balding, I think at the moment, maybe holding Ben Brown up a little bit. Brown looks like he's quite got a bit more pace in the car, and he's looking quite impatient to get through as he sees Kelly getting away in the lead. Curry there as well. He's also fairly close. But is there a big slipstream effect around the back of the circuit here, Sean, do you think? Or not so much in these cars?
Clio's not as much as the touring cars, but it's still a bit of a slipstream effect for them. If you can get a good drive out of Church, it's really good for you, especially if you're coming towards chicane. But it's a very tight situation. Going 3 wide there is not a good idea. We found that out last year. But it's good racing, good close racing all the way along the track. Just don't break the toe.
I'll be amazed if we don't see some sort of incident at the chicane during one of these races. And there goes Ben Brown trying to go on the outside of the chicane. I think he's overcooked it. Yeah, he's cut that. Careful rejoin though, but he's lost a lot of time in several places. He's down to 6th. And he could even lose
large group now, very large group.
Yes, so we've pretty much got the front 7 as... I mean, Kelly's got the biggest gap actually in the lead, and then we've got a real group of the next 5 cars there all together. Bennett is having a look. Curry's going defensive going into the complex. Bennett's trying to get around the outside. Can he hang out there and take the inside for the left? Yes.
That is an amazing move.
Brilliant move by Luke Bennett. Up into 3rd place. And just behind Curry is Chris Wilson in the Cam Sport Ice car. He's looking quite racy as well. And with Sibbald, who's also been pretty quick in these cars, he's just behind Wilson in 6th.
Yeah, his practice pace seems a little bit off everybody else's, but I think come race day or race time, he's always right up the top end. So it's going to be a good race the rest of the time. I can't state how good that move really was from Bennett, to be honest, because the racing line here is really important.
It's brilliant, wasn't it? I mean, how he managed to just keep so much momentum on the outside. He made it look quite easy, actually.
It is, and trust me, there's really no grip off the line. So that's an excellent effort. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we saw how good he was in the wet at Donington Park, so I think Bennett has got a real good feel for when the conditions are slippery or when he's offline. He seems to be able to make the most of it. Here comes Curry. He's battling hard with Wilson, and I thought he might run into the back of Bennett there, but he's managed to keep it away from the back of Bennett's car, so he's running now in 4th place. Balding. Bennett's going for a move on Balding as they go into the first corner. They're side by side. And I think Bennett has got the inside here. Can he just hold it round this left-hander before they come back into the complex? No, looks like Balding's just got back in front. Bennett's going to go for a move up the inside. Oh, not much room. And I think he got so much curb there, right up onto the two wheels, lost a place to Curry, and then Wilson is also behind him, so small error like that. You can use 3 or 4 places.
It really cost you a lot. You can tell he had to change the way he was steering over to roll the car over. He had to back out quite a bit. Yeah,
so you could feel the car going over. He had to steer away from the corner, effectively, just to bring the car back down.
Clever, really.
He was so on the inside, he was off the inside of the green part of the curb on the inside, and that really bounced the car into the air.
Just shows again how much control he has over the car. Obviously, it was a bad situation. He made the best of it. Interestingly, looking at the lap times, we've got Sybil actually faster than anyone else on track. So
Sybil has done a purple lap time, so the fastest of all in the race, and he is in 7th place. But this is an absolute gaggle here, as Balding, I think, is holding up a few people here. Curry looks like he really wants to get past, and Bennett recovering from that moment earlier in the lap. And then we've got Wilson, and then there's Sybil in the Positively Racing blue and pink Clio in the background there, who's absolutely flying at the moment.
Looks like he might lose out to Brown round here, because there's no grip on the outside of this corner.
Yeah, of course, Ben Brown as well, who lost all those places at the chicane a couple of laps ago, is also recovering. So we've got some faster drivers coming back up through the field, and this compressing this group together. Here's a replay of, this is Soughton, I believe, making contact with the back of Faro into the chicane. So we said we'd see some incidents of the chicane. There's the first one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I thought he was going to catch it for a second. A bit unfortunate for him. I'm sure there'll be some action taken on that one.
Yeah, so here's Faro then just recovering from that. Well, he'll feel a bit aggrieved about that. It wasn't his fault at all. He just got run into the back of. So here's Chris Wilson, and here's Luke Bennett in the black and yellow car, running in 3rd place. Balding there, still holding that 2nd place, even though he's had to fend off a lot of attacks. He's actually defended quite well.
Yeah, Curry's been all over the back end for quite a few laps, and I'm surprised he hasn't made it through yet, but he could be cooking his tyres quite well if he's trying to throw it around.
Yeah, I mean, will all this defending cost Balding towards the end of the race?
Well, it looks like he's got it here up the inside. Or maybe not.
Balding brake very late, too late, I think. Balding has run wide, and there Curry is finally through.
I think Bennett might make the most of this too, because he's lost his drive.
Yeah, Balding's lost so much momentum there. He was a bit late on the brakes, I think, coming into the chicane, offline. And in this race, in these Clio races, a little mistake like that, 2 places gone.
It's all about speed in these cars. Losing momentum, loses everything.
Yeah, so we're just hearing that Rob Soughton has got a drive-through penalty for that contact with Faro at the chicane on the last lap.
It was to be expected, to be honest. He outbraked himself and tapped him. I don't think he'll have any complaints. I'm sure he didn't mean it. It's just a case of it happens in racing.
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't a malicious sort of aggressive move. It was just a mistake on his part. Balding is on the grass.
He's going to lose some places there. Like I said, all about momentum. Fastest part of the track. People are going to drive past him here.
Yeah, and I think Balding's been unsettled by losing that place to Curry and making that mistake at the chicane. I think it's knocked him out of his rhythm a bit, and now he's got Ben Brown on the inside as they go through this fast section at the back of the circuit. Sybil is right there.
Him through, yes. Should get the slipstream down here as well.
They're almost 3 wide at one point, but it looks like Ben Brown has got the inside as they come through Church Corner. Very, very fast part of the circuit. And Ben Brown is still... No, he's not actually alongside. In fact, Sybil has got alongside Brown now as they head down to the chicane.
It looks like he had to back out the throttle a little bit going through Church.
Yeah, he can go a bit sideways. And Brown has hit the back of Sybil, and Sybil is round. And I don't know whether Brown was trying to make a move there, or whether Sybil braked early and caught Brown out. Not sure.
It's kind of like Sybil had the line there. Brown may have braked a slight bit too late. Again, not intentional. Same with the Southern move, but...
Coming into that chicane, the cars are so unbalanced because you're braking so hard and turning. A little bit of contact to the back of the car will spin the car around. Here's the replay. Brown brakes. He gets 2 of us on the grass.
Yeah, completely unintentional, but I think it's going to have to be something said about that as well, because Sybil had no chance of saving that once he was tapped.
No, braking and turning like that in these front-wheel drive cars, the back is very light at that point. Any contact on the back of the car and they will spin. So I think, Brown maybe just caught the grass unintentionally. So a bit unfortunate there. Here's Balding. He's still running 5th. So there's been a few, these bits of contact have kind of spread this group out a bit now, and Kelly still leads. He's got a good lead of what? Let's have a look.
There's a gap.
Not sure. We haven't got a delta on that at the moment, but I would say he's got a good second or so lead over Curry in second, and Luke Bennett now all over the back of John Curry as they head down to the chicane on lap 7 of 18. He's having a look both ways. Curry's locking up a little bit, but no, he's made the apex.
We're not even halfway through this race yet, and Bennett gets best towards the end, so I'm sure this is going to be a battle that lasts quite a few laps.
Do you think the drivers will still be thinking very much about tyres at this point?
I don't think Bennett has to worry about it too much. From what I've heard and seen of him, he tends to take care of his tyres all through a race, and then at the end gets faster, believe it or not. So this is probably a race for him to win. He still looks at it that way.
Yeah, I mean, if he can get past Curry here, he's having a look. It'll just be a question of if he can pass Curry and then go across the gap to Kelly and keep his tyres good enough that he can attack Kelly towards the end.
Most definitely. And interestingly, as we spoke about Farrow earlier, his little tap, he's actually got the fastest lap of the race, a 1:20.09.
Yeah, so that's great lap time from Farrow in 11th place after obviously that incident at the chicane. He's actually flying now, so he's obviously trying to recover and pushing quite hard. And he's actually up to 10th. Here's a replay of, this looks like, is that Colin Talbot, and that is Baker behind him in the blue car, and then Farrow in the pink car. And, Baker's off. He just made a bit of a mistake going into the complex.
It's getting these Clios, you do have to brake late because that's how they're made, but braking a little bit too late sends you way off line and you just can't keep the momentum going.
Here's Bennett up the inside of Curry at the chicane. He's got alongside, bit of contact. Oh, well defended by Curry, actually. Just a little bit of contact.
Yeah, a little bit of contact, but nothing too serious.
But I think Bennett has got the pace. He definitely looks like he's got the speed. He's right on the back of Curry as they head through the first corner here.
I'm sure Curry's defending for his life right now.
And now up to the complex. Is he going to have a little dive down the inside into the first part of the complex? No, he thinks better of it, actually. Tucks back in. Maybe he's got a plan for where he wants to pass, maybe into that chicane at the end of this lap. Chris Wilson going well in 4th.
Yeah, he might even be able to catch up with this with all the fighting going on. We never know. And Boulding's still there in the background.
And Boulding is still there, yes. Yeah, he had a little bit of a wobble once he got past, but he seems to have regrouped, and he's back doing reasonable lap times again.
Yeah, 1:20.7 last lap, 1:20.6. The leaders are still a little bit faster. Oh no, they're 1:21s for the top two.
Not much between this field. Very competitive, this Clio Championship. Luke Bennett, though, here he is still looking all over the back of John Curry.
It's a lovely onboard shot.
You can see on the picture we've got in the corner, on board with Luke Bennett. You can see how close he is to the back of Curry's car.
Touched the back, I think, there.
Just the briefest bit of contact. This is where he wants to pull the move down to the chicane. He's got the inside. Can he outbrake John Curry? He looks like he's alongside. He's got the line. But Curry, he knows he can give him that bit of space on the inside, but he has the inside for the next bit.
It's great defence. This onboard shot is very good from our director. Very good. It really showed the slipstream effect coming down that straight. And Wilson's thinking, oh, I'm in luck here. I'm going to catch.
Yeah, this is great. Wilson's watching this thinking this is exactly what I want, then running side by side as much of the lap as possible. But Bennett's got the inside for the complex this time, and I think this could be the move. Yes. Can Curry fight back here? He's going to have a little look.
He's trying.
No, thought better of it. And now look, Wilson is going inside.
I think he's got that as well.
Wilson looks like he's got the line on Curry, but the next corner is a left-hander. And it's very, very fast corner, this.
And again, it's all one racing line round here. The grip just isn't there if you're offline. Oh, that's tight.
That is tight, but Curry has just about got across the front of Wilson there to maintain 3rd place. Boulding still there in the black and purple car. But Bennett, as we said, now he's pulled the move. He's already pulled a big gap on John Curry, and he will be looking to see if he can get to Kelly as quick as possible.
Boulding seems to have got a good slipstream down here. He's catching quite fast.
Boulding with a double slipstream. He's gone to the left.
He's going to be tight.
Curry's braked very late. He's maybe braked too late. No, he's made the apex. Boulding's got on the outside of Wilson. Great move by Boulding there. I think Wilson was perhaps a little blocked. Practically
blocked, yeah. But that's the risk you run when you're going so close to somebody.
Yep, so I think Wilson just had to be a bit cautious because of Curry in front of him, and that just allowed Boulding to go around the outside. So great move by Boulding. He picked the right side there, actually. I thought going for the outside might not have been the best tactic, but no, I was wrong. He was right.
Made the best of a bad situation. Something seems to have to Sibbald in the middle of the race. He's down in 12th now out of everybody.
Something's happened to Ed Sibbald, yes. Down in 11th place. Not sure what's happened exactly, but Farrow is up to 8th now.
Steaming his way up the order.
He's flying. He had a bit of a rough start to this race, but now he seems to be flying through the order.
Once all the incidents are out of the way, it seems he's probably got the pace to make it higher up the grid.
Absolutely. Here's the battle for 4th then, Boulding and Wilson. So Boulding passed Wilson into the chicane on the last lap. Wilson be probably a little bit annoyed about that, or be thinking, I was trying to pass Curry and I ended up losing the place.
Yeah, it's never too good. As you can see on screen now, we've also got a picture-in-picture further down the grid. I think that's Baker.
Baker in 11th.
And Malpass behind him. So it should be Sybil just in front of them as well.
Here goes Wilson then. He's trying to try and do the same move, I think, that Balding did on him, but there's nothing in front of Balding to hold him up. Will he brake very, very late?
Will he have compromised the exit?
No, beautifully done. I think Wilson actually maybe thought, I can't do this because I'm not going to pass him on the outside, so just make sure I get through the chicane nicely.
Yeah, it's all about small margins in this race. Most of it's flat out around the back section, so you've got to really make time in the corners, but I think he realised he'd made a mistake a bit too early, and rather than trying to make it fit and probably losing the back end, just staying behind.
Yeah, so lap 12 of 18 then. 6 laps to go in this first race of the day, and we still have Christian Kelly leading. He's led absolutely from the start. He made a great start, and he's been really out on his own. He's had quite a good gap to whoever was in second place.
Bennett now, but Bennett was half a second faster last lap, so we'll be able to see if he can close that gap like we thought he could do when he was stuck behind Curry.
Yeah, so Bennett looking to go across that gap. You can see the best lap times on the top left on the tower. And I noticed that Sybil has got a really good best lap actually there. Such a good lap, I'm wondering if he cut the chicane.
But it wasn't even as good as his teammate Farrow's, which is 0.3 of a faster.
Yeah, that tells that Sybil lap, I think, was probably taken off him then. But yeah, Farrow with a 20.0. A brilliant lap time, really. Here's Wilson then, still looking around the back of Michael Balding as they head down to the chicane again.
A lot of tyre smoke going on now. I'm guessing their tyres are starting to wear a little bit.
Curry particularly seems to be a lot of smoke coming off Curry's tyres going into chicane every lap.
Probably from all the defence he was doing earlier from Bennett. Just saw in the picture that Bennett is actually closing quite rapidly on Kelly now. Yeah,
you can just see, just going out shot there, Kelly and Bennett is definitely closing, but we've got 5 laps to go. Is there enough time for him to catch and pass Kelly before the end of this race?
Having raced with him, I can definitely say yes. But I'd love to see Kelly defend and keep it all the way to the end. It would be nice for him to win this race.
Yeah, you'd have to say Kelly has driven a brilliant race so far. Fantastic start and hasn't put a foot wrong. So it's going to come down to... it's going to be close at the end, I think.
Of course, with no fighting going on, he's probably got the better tyres out of everybody as well. He didn't have to do any defence, didn't have to try and push it into a corner.
Yeah, so he's able to drive his own lines and he hasn't been sort of fighting offline, getting back online and wearing his tyres out in that way, I suppose. So this group of 3, Curry, Balding, Wilson. Again, Curry has sort of dropped back and Balding has sort of caught him. And Wilson right there as well. So this could be an interesting battle around it. Balding's all over the place. He's really trying to find a way through. I think he had so much momentum coming out of church then.
This could benefit Wilson if he can find a little gap somewhere.
Curry's trying to hold the inside again. Balding's looking round. Not quite.
I think Curry may have used up a lot of his tyres. He's defending quite harshly now.
Wilson's got alongside. They're 3 wide down the pit straight.
Oh, this is going to be tight round here.
Wilson and Balding. Oh, and Balding, I think, had to back out. He was pinched in the middle then.
Yeah, that's an amazing move around the outside there. This is going to be close all the way to the end. And he's got into 3rd.
Wilson has got both of them as they head down to the complex. Can he hold it? Balding looking on the outside. Wilson's nice and tidy. Curry furiously defending.
It's great driving from these 3.
Yeah, Wilson did really well there. I mean, that was a very brave move around the on the pit straight there that he pulled. It could have gone wrong. Yeah, I think Balding deserves a bit of credit for actually kind of backing out of that, what could have been a crash situation.
They all deserve credit there for being... It's a tight race and they all managed to get through there cleanly. I know there was a slight bit of knocking, but they got through there nice and cleanly.
So Wilson now into 3rd. And Curry dropped back just a little, just a few car lengths. In the corner of your screen, you can see on board with Kelly looking back at Bennett in 2nd place. So you can see exactly how far behind Bennett is and if he is closing as they're around the real fast part of the circuit around the back.
Last lap, Kelly actually set exactly the same lap time as Bennett. So it seems he's responded to the faster laps from Bennett and thought, you know, I can actually make a game of this. I'm probably going to win this race. Oh, he looked closer through the chicane, though.
Bennett carrying a lot of speed through that chicane as our 3rd, 4th, 5th place men go through the chicane as well. Wilson still holding that little gap from Curry. Balding is back once again, all over the rear of Curry again as they head through.
Balding's going to have to pick his moment here. Curry's not going to let him have it free, but he's much faster, it seems.
It does seem that Balding has got a bit of pace at the moment. He's having a little look up the inside. Curry's gone wide. He's missed the apex, but he'll have the inside for this left-hander here. Can Balding hang on? bit of contact. Balding's got the inside, and I think Curry will have to give him that. Curry's on the grass.
Off.
Long way off onto the grass, actually, just trying to maybe just carry too much speed in his bid to defend from Balding there.
It might have been better for him to concede a little bit and try and get the slipstream back down here, to be honest with you, but
maybe
that's what happened in racing.
Concede the corner earlier and tuck in behind him and just concentrate on a good exit.
Definitely. Just on Faro watch, he's back up to 7th, which is where he started, so he hasn't lost anything, even though he went right down the grid.
Yeah, it's a brilliant recovery drive, actually, considering where he was at the start.
Dead last, rolled over
At the start, and he's back up into 7th place, so shout out there. Ben Brown's dropped off the pace a bit. We saw him early on sort of fighting near the front, but as the race has gone on, he seems to have dropped back, and he's actually now in 6th from a good position of 3rd. And Bennett is definitely getting closer to Kelly. Here they are, 1st and 2nd place, lap 16 of 18, and Bennett now very, very close to the back of Kelly. Just a few car lengths. Maybe Kelly's just measuring this, just measuring his tyre usage out and just going as fast as he needs to, but I'm not sure.
Bennett's really attacking, but it's a case of whether he can really get past in these last couple of laps. Getting there is one thing, getting past is a complete different story.
Last time around, Bennett was 0.2 faster than Kelly, so he's just running a little bit quicker at this stage of the race.
Most other drivers have dropped off the pace a little bit, about half a second slower than normal, which is what you expect at this point in the race, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so it's definitely these two a long way out in front now. Obviously, there's been a lot of battling for that 3rd place, which is currently held by Chris Wilson, and that has really allowed these two to get away, so it's a race between these two for the win.
You can see the slipstream effect come into effect now in the picture-in-picture. Is he going to do it?
He's picked the outside, he's gone to the left. Kelly defending the inside.
Is he planning to cut back after the brakes? No, he's going right round.
Massively late braking by Luke Bennett, and he's got in front before.
That's incredible.
What a fantastic move there by Luke Bennett. He braked so late, I thought there's no way he can make the chicane.
I didn't think he'd ever make that, especially coming across in front before we even got to the corner. To be honest, I'm kind of a Kelly fan for this race, just to see if he can do it. I mean, the whole race, he hasn't put a foot wrong. It would be lovely to see him win the race. Let's see if they have a nice battle for the last couple of laps.
It would. I don't think Kelly expected that, actually. He wouldn't have thought Bennett could make the corner braking that late.
I think he thought, I've got this covered. There's no way he's going to get past me. But no, that's a great move.
So now we'll see, lap 17, can Bennett get away, or is Kelly going to raise his pace? How much has Kelly got in reserve?
Well, he was a second slower that last lap, and I think it shows for that last corner. 20.2 from Bennett and a 21.1 from Kelly.
Yeah, so maybe he was a little bit cautious going in the chicane. Maybe he just braked a bit early, and that allowed the combination of him braking slightly early, Bennett braking very late.
Maybe he's playing the game. Maybe he thinks, last lap, if I'm behind, I can get the slipstream into the last corner.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to lead. He doesn't want to lead until coming out of the chicane on the last lap.
Yeah, because that's where you're going to get them. You're going to get all the speed down the straight, and they can't really ask to if you've got past them before you get there.
Here we go, look, at Kelly. He's got a real good run out of church. He's really, really close, and he's trying the same move, I think. He's gone to the left. He's got almost in front. He's braked very late.
And he's done exactly the same move.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Brilliant. Very, very clever driving by Kelly there. He'd seen that move is possible and thought, I'll do the same thing then.
I'll play devil's advocate, but I mean, does he really want to lead into the last lap?
Well, that's it. Maybe Bennett's thinking, I don't want to lead, actually. So we are on the last lap now. So here we'll see Kelly currently in the lead. Is Bennett going to make a move before the chicane, or is he going to sit behind? He's looking at the inside into the complex.
I think he's got it.
Now maybe Kelly will let him have it.
Again, he's going to be behind down the straight. This could work out in his favour, to be honest.
Kelly concentrating on just getting the best possible exit.
Which he definitely has.
Great racing between these two. Kelly's having a look here. There's contact. A lot of contact. He's pushed Bennett quite wide.
And Bennett's held it very well.
Yeah, I think Kelly maybe thought that's slightly rough, that move, and he kind of
backed out a bit just to give it back to him, yeah.
Yeah. But look, he's managed to maintain enough momentum that he's right on the back of Luke Bennett as they go round up to Church Corner for the last time.
And this is where it all counts. Last chicane, who's going to break the latest? Who's going to get the line?
Kelly was quite wide through there that lap.
He's not close enough, I don't think.
No, it looks like he's 3 or 4 car lengths behind.
He hasn't got the slipstream for this.
So Bennett, provided he can just keep neat and tidy through the chicane, has got this in the bag. Kelly's braking as late as he dares. But no, it looks to me like Luke Bennett exits the chicane for the final time, and he has won race 1 at Thruxton of the Clio Championship. A fantastic race between him and Kelly. And like you say, I think Kelly just he just fell off the back at the crucial moment.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just didn't get the run through Church. I think he may have had to back out because he thought he was going to touch the grass, and that's it. Bennett just took advantage of it.
Chris Wilson has finished third. Great drive from him. Ben Brown has actually managed to come fourth. So whilst we're watching the leaders, he must have had a great last few laps. Balding finishes fifth. Faro in sixth. John Curry fell all the way down to seventh, so definitely struggling with his tyres.
Maybe it was the off. Maybe he went off again later on, but we didn't see. But he was pushing quite hard at the start of the race to defend.
Colin Talbot finishes eighth. Sibbald, not a great race for him, finishing ninth.
No, he had some real pace. It's unfortunate, but Faro finishing sixth is incredible for me. Definitely my driver of the race. Although we didn't see much of him, dropping to last and getting to sixth was great.
Great recovery drive here as the last lap. Curry and Talbot. Talbot looking all over the back of Curry to try and get that seventh.
Must have been a shout we heard earlier. I'm guessing that Colin went for the inside and Curry just covered it off last minute.
I think Curry was really struggling, wasn't he, towards the end, just limping home on those tyres. Just held on for seventh place. So we had Sibbald there ninth, Cleaver 10th, Malpass 11th, Baker 12th, and Soughton, unfortunate with that drive-through penalty, finished 13th. So really exciting race.
Very, very tight race. Very exciting. I hope you all enjoyed that as much as me and Mark did.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll take a short break now, and then we'll be back for race 2. We were saying during commentary, Luke, that you seem to be very good at looking after your tyres, and also you're quite good at driving off the line, we noticed. So was that your secret to that race win?
Well, I was having that battle with Curry, and I was getting quite close to him, and his toe the whole way along, but he didn't have a toe. So I was a lot quicker than him, so I was having to force my way past him. So I had to go on the long racing line. I just managed to keep us the long racing line.
And you pulled some great moves into the chicane, particularly on Kelly to take the lead around the outside. And then the following lap, he did exactly the same to you. And we were speculating that it was almost like neither one of you wanted to lead going into the chicane on the last lap. You wanted to be in second place for the slipstream. Did you think that was happening a bit? Yeah. And it looked like on the last lap, what happened, Kelly actually didn't get close to you enough to you through Church. He actually was a few car lengths behind, and he couldn't get that slipstream on the last lap, which I think is what allowed you to get through the chicane and take the win. There was a little bit of contact on the last lap, earlier in the lap. What happened there was, from your point of view? Yeah. So it's a great win for you, another win for you after your great performance last week. So your championship's looking good. Anyway, good luck for the next race, Luke, and we might speak to you later. Our second place driver, I think. Try and get him to pay us a visit in the comm box. So, Christian Kelly, gentlemen, take a seat.
Thank you.
Have a mic.
Is that on?
Yeah, it's on. So that was a really exciting race from our point of view. And we were just talking to Luke Bennett and speculating that he pulled a great move on you into the chicane, and then the following lap you did exactly the same move on him.
Yep.
And we were speculating that it was almost like neither of you wanted to lead going into the chicane on the last lap.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that. You get such an advantage with the toe, down the back section of the circuit.
Yeah.
And oh goodness me, it was a good race, really enjoyable. I couldn't have done any more. I got a great start.
Yeah, great result.
instantly away. Sorry, I'm dropping the racing cliches now. But I was just keeping an eye on everything behind me and just doing what I could. I was trying to look after my tyres, as we discussed last time.
Yep.
And it was good. I'm disappointed. I shouldn't have let that go, I don't think. There's a couple of things I'd like people to have a look at, but that's typical driver moaning, isn't it? You've got to try.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, it looked like on the final lap, you didn't get a good enough run through Church, and you weren't close enough to really get the slipstream into the chicane on the last lap. That's even the crucial point.
I'm slightly more relaxed, I would say. I'm not going to make a lunge. I would rather maintain my dignity than plough into somebody. And if it means I come second, so be it. I know that I've been racing cleanly. I haven't had any warnings. I'm happy with that. And I was fast enough as well. So I lost a lot of momentum down the back straight, or bends, as a result of a little...
There was a little bit of contact earlier in the last lap between the two of you. Yeah. So what happened there from your point of view?
I had a good slipstream out of the tight section. I got a good run out, and then I was trying to go alongside, thinking I might be left a bit of space. So there was a bit of movement left and right, so I was trying to, he's making me second guess, so I went down the inside. I think my wheels were alongside, and then basically just got turned into. But so what? You're in the middle of racing, right? If nothing happens, you've got to respect what the race director's saying and go from there. So it's fine. If nothing comes of it, wonderful.
It was firm but fair.
Doesn't matter.
It was a little bit of contact, but it was a really exciting race for us to watch.
Good.
So we're hoping to see more of the same in the second one.
Enjoy the spectacle. I hope the second one is as good. Thank you.
All right, good luck.
Cheers, guys.
Right, so we're hopefully get a word with our third place driver, Chris Wilson. Here he is. Come and join us, Chris. So quite a good drive for you overall. It was a lot of battling between the sort of the group, third, fourth, fifth, you, Balding, Curry, for quite some time. But you seem to come out best at the end and got a good solid third place.
Yeah, I suppose it was good to watch that one, wasn't it? It felt good at the time. Thruxton, with a car this slow, it's all about slipstream. So I'm quite happy to sit back, let them fight each other, and ultimately, when Curry and Baldwin tripped each other up into the final chicane, I just had enough tyres and took the proper line and just managed to get the drive around the outside of him. So, and then, just luckily managed to hold on for third.
You pulled a really good move on one lap down the pit straight, where the three of you were three wide at one point, and we thought there was going to be a crash here, because when you get three cars side by side, that's never good. But you pulled a very brave move around the outside, and just seemed to really take your opportunities in that race.
Yeah, you can afford to be patient at a track like this. If you're fighting on the fast bits, if you have to lift out, you can instantly get back in the tow, get the slipstream, you're back on them at the next corner. You don't lose too much. The biggest point to lose is that last chicane, which is why when Curry and Baldwin did trip each other up, I was able just to get the power on. Baldwin went defensive. Fair play to Curry, he left me enough room and didn't take me out on the corner. So it
was a great race to watch, some really good battling. So best of luck for the next race, and hopefully we'll talk to you again.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Chris. Thanks. Right, we're going to go and get ready now. The drivers will be preparing for the second Clio race of the day. We'll be back shortly. Okay, so we are getting ready here for race 2 of the Clio Championship, race 2 of the day, and slightly different grid order for this one. We will have John Curry starting from pole position in this race. So let's see if he can recover from his excursions in race 1. Ben Brown will be second. Sibbald will start third. Luke Bennett fourth. Chris Wilson fifth. Balding sixth. Kelly down in seventh. So it'll be interesting to see if he can fight his way through. Faro, who was very quick after he recovered from his shaky start, in 8th. Talbot 9th. Cleaver 10th. Baker 11th. And Sounton 12th with Malpass 13th. So another 18-lap race of this Thruxton Park circuit. And hopefully more of the same.
Yeah, I hope it's some close racing. Just as we found out after the race through a little bit of interviewing of my own that I found out, John Curry and Ben Brown both had track-cutting penalties, which is why they ended up so far down.
I see. So that was... that's what explained Ben Brown dropping down earlier in the race, and then John Curry towards the end.
Yeah, they're really going to have to watch that last chicane. It's just going 4 wheels over, so it's so easy to do, especially when you're in the pressure of an actual overtake or trying to defend your line.
Yeah, and there's a big advantage to be gained if you go 4 wheels off going to the first part of the chicane. You can straight line it.
Massive advantage. There's a couple of attempts at least.
Yeah, so the drivers do get a warning. I believe they get 2 warnings, and then if they do it a third time, that is a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, so you've had plenty of opportunities to sort yourself out. If you're doing it for a third time, really, you're taking the mick a little bit.
Yeah, so you're allowed a couple of sort of mistakes, if you like, and then the third strike, you are out. So, it'd be interesting to this one. John Curry on pole, and Ben Brown and Sibbald. So 3 drivers who didn't have the best race 1 right at the front here for race 2.
Yeah, I'm guessing they'll all have the pace, and Ferrer being middle of the group again, he probably won't want after what happened on the grid last time, but I'm hoping he's got the pace to battle at the front this time round after his fastest last lap last race.
Yeah, so all set for another exciting race of these super close Clio Cup Championship, and they are lining up on the grid now. Curry there in the white, orange and black car on the left-hand side, and Ben Brown in the blue, green and white Anxiety UK sponsored car. Luke Bennett behind him, just in the black and yellow, just forming up at the back, and we are getting ready to go. The drivers will be waiting for the lights, and then another 18 laps of this Thruxton Park circuit. They're away, green flag, and great start by Balding straight through the middle from 5th place, 6th place, he's already into 2nd.
Could be first.
He's got an absolutely amazing start. Curry on the inside, there's Balding in the black and purple car. Ben Brown there, trying to go through the middle. And I think Balding is just about in the lead, but he hasn't got the inside for the first corner. He's braked very late indeed.
Very, very late. It's all going to continue together in these couple of corners.
And he's got the inside here. Oh, great move by Balding there. He's got into the lead from 6th on the grid.
And Curry's fought back.
Curry's
he's rolled it.
He's at the curb and he's taken Balding out.
Oh, dear.
Oh, very unlucky for Balding there. What a start. But, Curry hit that inside curb really hard and he just rolled the car over. A bit like what happened to Bennett, but he didn't save it.
Yeah, and unfortunately Balding was just a passenger in all that. He had nowhere to go. He didn't even know it was happening behind him.
No. Bad news for him. Such a shame, really. But it's left Sibbald in the lead from Ben Brown, Chris Wilson 3rd, Luke Bennett is there in 4th, and Kelly 5th with Faro 6th.
There seems to be a bit of a battle forming behind these two.
Yeah, we've got Sibbald and Brown out in front. Then you've got Wilson, Bennett is alongside him, and then just behind them, Kelly and Faro. Here we have Sibbald, Ben Brown trying to go on the outside at the chicane, braking very. He's lost the back.
Oh dear.
Just probably cold tyres.
Very cold tyres. Just asking too much at the start of the race. And I think Wilson's made it through to 2nd as well in the background.
Yeah, so Sibbald now sort of on his own in the lead. Here's a replay of what happened with Curry. He hits the curb, rolls over, contact with Balding.
Poor old Balding. Had nowhere to go. No idea it was even happening. I do feel for him because he's got the pace to go at the front.
Yeah, he made a fantastic start. It's really unlucky. So, as a result of Ben Brown making that mistake at the chicane, we've got Sibbald with a bit of a gap to Chris Wilson, who's running 2nd. He's got Luke Bennett right behind him in 3rd. And then Kelly and Faro just behind. And then Talbot is 6th. And then a little bit of a gap back to Cleaver in 7th.
In fact, because of all the action that went on the first lap, Sibbald set a lap time that was almost 2 seconds faster than anybody else that lap.
Yeah, that's where he's got this good gap to Wilson. I mean, he's already a long way in front considering it's lap 2.
Great start by him, and I'm sure with his pace he'll be able to probably keep that for most of the race, if not all of it.
Here he is then, Sibbald. Real big lead. There you can see how far ahead he is, and in the background you can see Wilson and Bennett alongside each other as they head down into the chicane for the second time. Then you've got Kelly very close in the slipstream, and then Faro. Almost 3 wide.
Colin Talbot coming to join the party as well by the looks of it.
Bennett's up the inside and has taken that second place. Wilson tucks in contact between Kelly and Faro. And it looks like Kelly's lost several places there. He's been spun round. He's dropped down to 8th place.
Not 100% sure whose fault that was. I know that Kelly had made a mistake in the chicane and had to brake massively. I'm not sure whether just got alongside him and Kelly may have turned across, or whether they turned into him. We'll have to see a replay of that one, really.
There was a lot going on there. There were so many cars going into that chicane at once. They all sort of compressed together, and then, yeah, it was hard to make out exactly what happened. But Kelly's the big loser. He's gone down to 8th place.
And the biggest winner is Colin Talbot. He's up to 4th now.
Yeah, Talbot's got through that, stayed out of trouble, and yeah, as a result, he's now 4th. Cleaver's 5th, Malpass is 6th, and Soutton 7th. So some of the drivers who were further down the order in race 1, right up in the front of the midfield in race 2.
And obviously now it's all
Here's a
here we
replay.
go.
So Bennett passes Wilson, Kelly behind. Faro tries to pass Kelly.
Well, wouldn't want to be the race director on that one, would you?
Yeah, we'll leave that to the race director to decide what to do there. But the end result is that it's cost Kelly quite a lot, and Faro even more, actually. I mean, he's down to 10th place. So, yeah, not good for either of them.
I couldn't call that one, to be honest with you. I know Kelly went a bit deep. He had to brake to stop him hitting Wilson. Faro had the momentum, tried to carry on with it and go around the outside, and he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, what will happen is the race director will have a look at that.
Yeah.
He'll look at the replays, he'll look at the slow motions, and he will come up with a verdict. But it's very difficult for us to call here from the commentary box.
Not our job. We'll just enjoy the racing whilst we've got it.
So Sibbald then still out in front. Bennett now in 2nd place. So that he is the danger man. We know how fast he is, particularly towards the end of the race.
We know he can close the gap as long as he's got clear track in front of him, especially at the end of the race on worn tyres as well.
Yeah, he's shown that before, that ability to look after his tyres, maintain lap time and not make mistakes. Chris Wilson running a good 3rd. Here's Kelly and Brown.
It's all the losers at the start of the race. We've got some pace. They're all going to be fighting for the rest of the race, I guess, down this end of the grid.
Yeah, we should look to see these drivers coming back through. So this is Kelly, Brown and Faro, 8th, 9th and 10th. Boulding, 11th, just there in the background after that very unlucky incident at the start for him. Here's Ben Brown. Great livery on that car. Extremely
good livery. In fact, most of this grid have got very good liveries now, and it's due to some work from people at SR and other people putting in their own efforts. It's good for our championship. It looks really nice.
Yeah, I think a lot of drivers see other drivers' liveries and go, I want a cooler livery now, because theirs is really good. So yeah, they all cars all looking brilliant. Here's Ben Brown alongside, trying to get alongside Kelly as they head down to the chicane.
Looks like he's got the inside for this corner. Let's see if he can make it stick.
He's got the inside, he's keeping it nice and tight, and I think Kelly's almost kind of just said, yep, you can have that.
Yeah, let him have that one by the looks of it. Maybe he's just not confident after what happened earlier in the race.
He's got a very good exit though, Kelly, look. So I think he was thinking, I'll get you on exit. And that's exactly what he's going to do.
He has, yes.
So really intelligent racing by Kelly there, thinking really strategically about where he needs to be quick. And it's worked perfectly. Now Brown's having to defend from Faro.
And Faro set the fastest lap again this race, a 20.150. That's only 0.06 off his last lap time.
Yeah, so Faro seems very fast, particularly at the beginning of races, but you have to wonder if he's taking too much out of his tyres.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, he did end up finishing in 6th after being last race, so he's still got some positions in him in this race, but we'll see what happens when he's in a battle with some fast drivers.
So here we are looking back from Ben Brown. That is Faro behind us. You can see through this real fast section of the Thruxton Park circuit how we might see how the slipstream effect works here as they come round out of this onto the back section before Church Corner. So you can see there, Faro just taking a very tight, nice line through Church and definitely starting to pick up a bit of slipstream.
I think he compromised a little bit. He went a little bit sideways through that corner.
Maybe a bit too much curb?
Maybe a bit too much, yes.
So Brown having a look at the inside of Kelly into the chicane.
Will we have a repeat of last lap?
Yeah, so is Kelly going to do the same? He just keeps it tidy, focusing entirely on getting a good drive out of the chicane, and he has.
Brown's covered off the inside this time round smartly, really, but he's got people in front of him he has to watch out for.
Yeah, so they're catching this group in front, which is
Soutton is the first one up, and
yeah, Soutton,
Malpass after that.
Malpass, Brown's up the inside of Kelly into the complex. But Kelly's got the inside here. Contact.
Contact.
Well, got away with it. And Brown has the inside. He's got the place.
Extremely lucky there, really. Nothing actually came from that, but we'll be happy that no one ended up on the grass.
In the corner of the screen, we are riding on board at the moment with Kelly. Ben Brown in front of us there, and you can see Ben Brown going to the inside of Soughton.
Looks almost like Soughton gave it to him there. I'm sure he didn't, but he looked like he moved out quite wide and lost all his momentum.
Yeah, Soughton's going really wide there, actually. You can see him just sort of adopting a wide line. Not sure if that's his normal line.
It's not the best line to take either. If you touch the grass, you end up losing the car very quickly.
They're all going past. Look, Kelly's passed. Faro's passed. Balding there is in the background. He's passing Soughton as well.
It's going to be interesting to the braking zone for the last chicane.
They're all bunching up together.
Oh.
Faro is going. He's taking extreme right-hand side. He's gone for the inside. Thought better of it, though. That would have been a bit of a chaotic move, I think.
Very chaotic move.
So Kelly now holding that 7th place. From Brown, Faro, Balding there is having a look. He's side by side with Faro.
There's really no grip on the outside. You have to back out almost.
Yeah, you can see he's had to drop in behind.
I think this race is going to rage on towards the end, and we'll see who comes out on top of this group.
Yeah, there's a lot happened already. We're only on lap 7. So, yeah, there's a hell of a lot to go.
It feels like it's been so much already.
Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of racing to go on to. Maybe the drivers, some of them are thinking about that and just calm down, look after my tyres, don't go berserk yet.
We all know you can't win a race on the first lap. You can definitely lose it.
Absolutely. So, in your picture-in-picture, we were riding on board with Kelly, looking back at Ben Brown. And he's just passed Malpass. Sorry, yes. So they're the red and black car of Malpass. Kelly up the inside, and now Ben Brown is having a look, seeing if he can get through as well.
It's going to be a bit tight through this corner. You don't really back off much for here. You try and keep it flat as much as possible.
Yeah, this is a very, very fast church corner.
I think Brown lost a bit of momentum there because he caught the grass on the way out.
Yeah, and that has allowed Faro to get alongside, but they've got Malpass in front of them as well. Very late on the brakes. It looks like Faro's got it.
All bunched together again. It's going to be close coming up to the first sector again.
Who can get out of here? Who can get the best exit? Brown is trying as hard as he can to try and get just alongside Faro as they head down to start at lap 18.
Trying to keep my best look at the lap times at the front. Bennett was about 0.4 of a second faster than Sybil that time round. I don't know what the gap is. We don't have that delta, but it looks like it's going to be close to the end of the race.
So Malpass there in the red and black car just in front of Faro with Brown right behind him, then Balding, then Soughton in 11th.
All great move there from Faro.
Contact between Malpass and Faro.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate. He's right at the last now.
That's really wrecked Faro's race, that has. So again, another one for the race directors to have a look at. We sort of caught the end of it. Didn't quite see the beginning of that, but they'll be having a good look at that. So Balding now has got past Brown. He's up into 7th place.
Kelly's cleared off. I've got a little bit of a gap now because he got past Malpass earlier and gapped himself a little bit.
At the front, we haven't really seen what's happening in the front for a while, but Sybil still leads from Bennett at the moment. Wilson there in 3rd and Colin Talbot running a strong 4th. Side by side here between Balding and Brown as they come down to the chicane. Balding on the inside. I think Brown, he's probably doing the Kelly tactic here, I think.
Trying to get some momentum into the first corner. Although Balding looks to have some speed coming through there.
Very wide Balding though. He's just caught the grass on the exit of the chicane.
Kept hold of it though.
Yeah, he looks like he's at the moment safe in that 7th place. Brown. Here's a replay maybe of what happened.
Malpass and
you can see in the corner of the screen that Faro seems to turn across the front of Malpass.
Yeah, it's not a clear cut, and Malpass has nowhere to go. He's only got that little bit of track to use up anyway.
Again, that little bit of contact on the back of these cars just spins them around so easily.
All the power's on the front, so you're driving with the front out of those corners. As soon as you get a little tap, it just drives you off into the grass.
Yeah, it seems it's so easy to have those sort of accidents. So Balding here, still holding that 7th place in front of Ben Brown.
Just a quick update on 1st and 2nd. They set very similar lap times that time round, so maybe the gap is holding steady.
Yeah, they're really close. They're sort of, the gap's staying similar. But we're only on lap 9, so half distance. In the corner of the screen there, we've got Wilson, and Talbot has caught Wilson here for the battle for 3rd place.
In fact, Talbot was 0.4 of a second faster that last lap, so maybe he's got some late race pace.
Boulding's up the inside of the chicane with a great clean move on Ben Brown.
It's always lovely to see some nice clean racing going on in this class.
That was a great move.
Especially on some nice liveried cars as well.
Yep, all the cars looking fantastic, and yeah, good move there by Boulding. He's up now into 7th place. Obviously, all these drivers are really recovering from incidents at the start, no more so than Boulding himself, who was really unlucky to get taken out on the first lap.
You can't account for accidents, unfortunately, but no, he's done well to get himself back in a good position, and hopefully him and Brown can work together to try and close the gap onto Kelly.
Yeah, so they've got to go across that gap to Kelly, who's running in 6th. And Cleaver's doing a good job in 5th. So a driver who was further down the order race 1, he's up 5 places from his starting position.
Yeah, we haven't really mentioned him, but he's kept himself quiet and just gone about his business. He's doing really well this race.
So you can see in the corner of your screen how close Colin Talbot is to the back of Wilson as they head down to the chicane.
All the slipstream there.
He's got big slipstream and he's gone for the inside. They're side by side. He's braked very
that's
late.
an amazing move if he holds it.
He's braked very late, but he's just about scrambled through. But I think Wilson's going to have
momentum, yes. And Wilson's going to go back round the outside of him here by the looks of it.
Good fair racing between these teammates.
Please hold it together, lads.
Yeah, they're giving each other space. Wilson just about gets across the front of Talbot there.
You may have picked up they're both Cam Sport drivers, but there's no loyalty or love lost between the Ice and Fire teams. It's a case of whoever wins, wins.
A healthy rivalry, I think we could describe it as.
That's
and Colin Talbot, great move there up the inside into the complex. Just outbraked Wilson, took the line, nice and neat and tidy.
I wonder whether Wilson's been pushing hard and tuning up his tyres and Talbot's just been running his own race and just keeping stock of what he's got left.
Yeah, so lap 11. All look side by side. Wilson just getting his nose into that little gap.
Again, pushing so hard could ruin his chances of actually getting back into that 3rd place because you'll wear all those tyres out so fast.
Yes, maybe these two battling too hard might not be good for either of them because Cleaver, Kelly, Boulding. Well, actually, you can't even see them. They're so far behind.
You can't see them at the moment. They've got plenty of space, but
they're totally on their own, really, these two. There in the background, you can just about see Cleaver, and he's a long way behind. So, yeah, it's a race between these two for the last podium spot. Talbot hits the front, or hits 3rd place, into the chicane again.
Bit of air there for Wilson over the curb.
Wilson's got quite a good exit, though, I think. He's having a little bit of a look, but no, I think Talbot still holds it.
It's going to be really close all the way to end this race. They've got really similar lap pace. They both know each other inside and out for all the practicing they do together. Oh, that's a late
for a lunge.
Again, really good pass. They left each other room. It's what you like to see in this sort of racing.
He came from a long way back, Wilson, there, didn't he?
Really long way back.
In the picture-in-picture, we have got an onboard of Sibbald. No, I'm sorry, that is not Sibbald. That is
Cleaver and Kelly, I think.
Cleaver and Kelly. Yeah, so Cleaver looking back at Kelly over the battle for 5th.
It's been raging on in the background. You can just about see it in the background of our main picture as well. And I think Kelly's frustrated trying to get past.
He's very, very close, Kelly. He's rubbing the rear bumper of Cleaver's car as they go round the back of the circuit in the slipstream.
Pulls to the inside. Is he going to make this stick?
Yes, it looks like he's right alongside through Church Corner.
He's touched the inside.
Cleaver's gone a little bit wide, but he's still there. And we've also got the same sort of battle going on between Talbot's up the inside of Wilson into the chicane again.
Feels like deja vu over and over again watching this. So exciting to watch.
It's such a important passing place, this entrance to the chicane and the exit of it, indeed. Because look at the exit here. Wilson's got back alongside Talbot. Oh, contact!
No.
Very unfortunate for the two Cam Sport cars there.
Unfortunate. For me, it's a...
Oh, and now they're in the middle of the track. Everyone's having to avoid Talbot.
Again, another one for the race director to look at. It's so hard to catch it when it's at full speed.
Contact here between Wilson and Cleaver. And Cleaver just fending Wilson off.
Feels like tempers are flaring a little bit in the venue right now.
Yeah, so Wilson and Talbot really did the one thing they really did not want to do, which is come together. And it's cost Talbot dearly, and it's cost Wilson a couple of places. He's down to 5th.
And Kelly in all that has got past Cleaver and he's back into 3rd, so he's probably laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, see, Kelly keeping it tidy.
Wilson down the inside again.
He looks like he might have the inside here. They go up to Church Corner. He's got the line.
This is a trickier corner than it looks like in the actual race. It's a flat-out corner, but if you don't have the right angle going into the corner, you end up touching the grass on the inside and losing your momentum.
Balding has got round the outside of both of Wilson and Cleaver and gone straight through into 4th place. There's a lot of slipstreaming. Here's Curry. He's coming through as well.
He's come right from the back of the grid after rolling it earlier, and he's really got a point to prove.
And there's Ben Brown on the back of this group. But yeah, Balding seemed to pick up like a 3-car slipstream and just drove past them in the entrance of the chicane.
Like he had an extra rocket on the back of him, it was.
So that puts Balding into 4th now, which is a fantastic recovery from where he was after that incident at the start with Curry, and Curry himself up into 7th. And in the corner of your screen, you've got Sibbald still holding a nice advantage over Bennett at this stage on lap 14. He's still got a nice gap.
And in the background, you can still see the battle raging on between Brown, Curry, and I think, is that Cleaver as well? Yes, it is.
Yes, a Cleaver, Curry, and Brown there, absolutely together. Bit of a gap to Balding and Wilson, who've just pulled away slightly. Curry's going for the inside here on Cleaver. He's on the grass on the inside.
Oh.
Contact.
And will Brown take advantage of this?
Brown's trying to go around, having a look at the outside, but Cleaver is still just in front of Curry as they head up to Church Corner. Brown swarming around trying to find a gap, but there isn't one.
I think Curry may have cost his momentum there, turning it quite tight. Brown may have the legs on him here.
Brown could get the run on Curry here.
Flashing of lights, flashing of lights.
It's getting a bit heated. Anything to gain a small advantage.
Being a driver myself, I can tell you that makes no difference whatsoever.
No, you're not looking in your mirrors.
You're looking at trying to go forward, not backwards, but this is so close racing. They're keeping it together at the moment.
And Cleaver caught the grass on the exit. Curry's got alongside him. Ben Brown there as well, trying to also get through.
We've got a little bit sideways there, lost a bit of momentum, but he's got the inside line for coming into the next corner. Oh, no, he hasn't.
So, yeah, Curry now, 6th. Cleaver 7th, Brown 8th. Wilson just in front of them in 5th.
In the picture, you can see him still trying to chase down Balding.
Yeah, Wilson trying to recover from that incident with his teammate Colin Talbot. Side by side here between Cleaver and Brown. They're pushing, they're leaning on each other as they come storming down to this fast left-hand corner. Brown should have the inside.
It's as tight as you can make it in this class.
They're leaning on each other. Oh, too much contact. The problem with these, you can't put that much contact in these two cars. These
no, I can't really put blame on anyone. Again, the race director's decision to make. It may have been better for Cleaver to back out and just follow him through this section and just gain some slipstream on him. Just try and close up the gap and go down the chicane.
Yeah, they were just, both of them were so determined to say, I am having this place.
Yeah, there's only 3 laps left to go after this lap, and I suppose they're thinking, we've got to keep our position to the end of the race. But
that's right.
Yeah.
So here we go. Wilson attacking Balding for 4th place.
I'm still wondering if Wilson has any wheels left after that spin as well, so that would have definitely affected his momentum.
Yes, and damaged his tyres, do you think, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the moment, Curry there is 6th, Cleaver is 7th, Brown is 8th, Faro 9th. So competitive, this midfield, that the drivers are jumping up and down the order all over the place. One small incident, you're right down the field.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on the lap times as well. Bennett's just set his fastest lap on lap 16.
So has Bennett judged this to perfection once again? In the corner of your screen there, you can see Bennett. We are riding on board with Sibbald, looking back at Bennett on lap 16.
It's going to be a tight one, I think. I mean, Sibbald hasn't put a wheel wrong. Again, like Kelly last race, didn't put a wheel wrong all race. And to be honest, the gaps aren't as big as they were last time between Bennett and Kelly. It's going to be a tough ask to get past him.
But we've seen Bennett do this before. He seems to have that patience and that ability to look after the tyre that he knows when he needs to attack.
Closing again in the picture, you can see he closed so much on that last chicane.
Joining them in the main screen now. Bennett there. Definitely getting closer to the back of Sibbald as they start lap 17. 2 laps to go.
Not a betting man, but you don't really bet against Bennett in this situation. He's done it before and he's probably going to do it again, but I'd love to see a nice clean race between these two towards the end.
Yes, we've seen Bennett do this before. Oh, Sibbald has gone very wide. He's gone deep into the complex.
And he will lose all that speed coming through the next section. I'm sure Bennett will try and make the most of this.
This could be Bennett's chance. He's trying on the outside. But he will have the inside for this next left-hander.
That's a fantastic move again.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sibbald cost himself so much momentum with that mistake in the complex. It was always going to be a...
But again, respect to Sibbald for not trying to force it to fit and trying to cut back across to save his place, because it probably would have taken them both out of the race. So some clever driving by both of them.
Yep. Yeah, and in the corner screen, we're on board with Sibbald looking at the back of Bennett's car, so you can just sort of see how close he can get through this fast section at the back of the circuit.
You might see Sibbald setting some fastest lap times. He's been quick anyway, but now he's got a slipstream. He could be even faster.
And he is all over the back of Bennett as they head down to the chicane. Bennett's gone defensive. Just trying to maintain that inside line.
Ooh, some shouting in the venue. Not 100% sure what's going on behind.
Something's going on, but at the moment we're focused on this battle for the lead as they enter the last lap. So, can Sibbald stay close enough? And it's all going to come down to that chicane, I think, at the end of this last lap.
It all depends on Sibbald getting a perfect lap and getting the best run he can, going through Church and all the way down to the chicane. If he can get that right, he may have this nailed.
So, yes, here we are. Sibbald just trying to stay as close as possible to Bennett, exiting the complex for the final time. They've both got a really good gap. They're miles ahead of Kelly in third. So we have
time share the same as well. They're about half a second faster than anyone else on the track. It's all down to these two now.
In the corner, we've just got a replay of what's happened behind. Balding and Wilson contact.
Wilson. Like Balding's come across the front of him there.
Looked like Balding was really out of shape, actually, at the beginning of that replay. So, and then he's also taken Curry out. Look.
Oh, no.
So Curry and Balding, for the second time, have come together in slightly different circumstances. So that was what the shouting was all about in the background.
It's unfortunate for both of those two, after such a great race to get back up the order.
So here we go then. This is the final time entering the chicane. Bennett has got a good few car lengths. It looks like he's judged it to perfection again.
I think he's going to keep this to the line, even with the momentum. I'm not sure Sibbald can
It
get
looks
past.
like he's going to just hold on. He is. Luke Bennett wins race 2 at
Fantastic
Thruxton.
race again.
And he does the double.
We're so
with
far back, Kelly, that he's not even in chicane yet.
A very similar performance from race 1, but Bennett judged it once again to perfection. Here comes Christian Kelly, who will finish third after a good performance, really. He just stayed out of trouble.
Start. Yeah, he was involved in all the trouble at the start, but he managed to clear it all and keep going. Wilson coming home in fourth as well. That's another good result for him with all what happened in that race.
Yeah, Cleaver finishes 5th. Brown gets 6th in the end. Faro 7th. Balding, after more contact and a real up-and-down race for him, finishes 8th. Soughton gets 9th. Curry only 10th. So not a good round for him. Talbot disappointing with 11th. Baker 12th. And Malpass will be 13th. There he comes across the line now. So we will take a short break and then we'll try and get an interview with the top 3 drivers from that race. Right, so Luke Bennett, double race winner, another win, and sort of very similar to the first one, really.
Yeah, I mean, well, started from the same position, and then just kept going through the field slowly and did the same things I did the race before.
Yeah. So was that sort of your game plan? Was just to do you consciously make sure you've got more tyre at the end of the race?
Well, I was looking after my tyres, but I wasn't really that bothered because, I still had a lot of tyre at the end of the race.
Yeah.
I was just, once I was in second, I was just quite close to, I wasn't really that close to Sibbald, but I was about 3 seconds behind him.
Yeah.
So I started really pushing so I could get into his slipstream, which is what you need around Thruxton.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then once I was just really close racing between me and him.
So you seem to really love Thruxton.
Yeah, well, I'd never done the track before
Really?
I came here, yeah.
Right, okay, well, a very impressive performance to win both races, and this really puts you in a very strong position for the championship.
Yeah, about 10 points in front now, or something like that.
So, are you starting to think you just need to keep racking up the points?
As long as I keep top 5, I shall be happy.
Yeah, because with these Clios, it's so competitive, even if you have a bit of an off day, a little incident, you can end up quite far down the order. So
yeah, in the qualifying, 6/10 between the top 9. So
yeah, it's unbelievably tight, but it's produced some great racing, and really impressive performance in both your races today. So we're looking forward to seeing you again at the next round.
Thank you.
Well done. Great performance there by Luke Bennett, winning both races today. But now we've got Ed Sibbald with us. He finished second in that race. So Ed, you fell victim to the Luke Bennett attack at the end, which seems to be his calling card.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I'm not going to lie. I was maintaining the gap, and I made a couple of mistakes going into the last chicane on the last few laps, and that's he just gained. As soon as he got into the slipstream, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I tried hanging on for the last lap.
Yeah. But you just seemed to have a bit more tyre at the end, and
exactly.
or just more pace at the end.
When I heard the warning about the cutting track, and I heard Bennett, I was like, oh. He's going to have to go a bit easy now.
Yep.
But
didn't help anyway. But a much better result for you that race after your race one, which you struggled a bit in.
Race one was, a bit of an incident with Brown.
Yeah.
These things happen.
So overall, I guess you're still up there in the championship.
Yeah.
You've had a slightly up and down results, but I guess it looks like Bennett is emerging as the man to beat.
I know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I said, as soon as I saw that he was second, well, I knew he had a big gap because everyone kept taking themselves out in front of me.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw it was Bennett, I was like, of everyone on the grid, that's the one that I know is going to be quick, and he always seems to be quick towards the end as well. So I'll take second. I don't mind that.
Still a good haul of points, and you're still up there in the championship. So we'll look forward to seeing you again at the next round.
Wonderful.
All right. Thanks a lot.
You.
So our third place driver, Christian Kelly. So you're back here on the podium again. You were a bit sort of under the radar in that race, really, from our perspective. But you seem to be able to stay out of all the major trouble, anyway, and snatch places where opportunity presented themselves.
What a shame. I had a great race. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I got absolutely T-boned at the last chicane, down to 8th or 9th.
Yes.
And then I just basically witnessed the carnage open up in front of me. Clean racing, people.
There was a lot more contact between all up and down the field in that race.
Yeah, and do you know what? People are going for it. They're going for gaps, and fair enough. I just tried to keep consistent, really.
Yeah.
There were a few moves where I thought, if this was a real race and I was in a real car, would I really do this? Absolutely not. And just bide my time a little bit. That one was really fun. That was like the second place is a bit galling, but I can forget that because 9th to 3rd. That's wonderful. It's great. It was really good. Yeah,
you've got a good haul of points, second place and a third place, so that's pretty good for the championship points situation. You're looking forward to next round?
Yeah, Croft next, isn't it?
That's right.
So I need to learn that circuit. That'll be interesting. A few more corners to ruin my tyres with. Thruxton today was absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Croft's going to be a different battle. But look, as I said before, it's fun. I'm here for fun. Oh, that's a lie. I'm here to win. If I can have some fun at the same time, that's wonderful, isn't it? That's great.
That's the right attitude. Great. Okay.
Thanks very much.
Cool. Thanks for talking to us. So we will take a short break, I think, and then we'll do the presentations for the Clio Cup Championship.
Okay, so we're just going to do the presentation for our top three. Some interesting racing in both races. That's what I'll say. Watch the stream back, guys. I'm sure you'll enjoy the replays as well. But we'll just go through our top three. So finishing in third place with 28 points, quickest lap time of 1:20.201 is Chris Wilson. Okay, so well done to Chris there. So finishing in second place, total of 32 points, quickest lap time of 1:20.131. Not quite the quickest lap of the day, but well done. It's Christian Kelly. Okay, but taking the top step on the podium and 2 race wins today, extending his lead at the top of the table, is Luke Bennett. Okay, so big round of applause for our top 3. Just going to take a quick photo. Okay, so well done to our top 3 there. Do tune back at 1:30, or 1:40, sorry, when we go to the Clios and into the qualifying. Thank you very much for watching on the stream, and we'll see you again soon.